got your hand.
Oh boy. I did it.
Is it me?
Are we in? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
We can't all be in.
It says we're telling your people that.
Oh, Twitch.
Whoa, why is it delayed?
Are you in?
Hi, everybody. Michael. You guys, I have students today. I also have students.
Arigato.
Hi.
Hello? Oh, I can't talk.
No.
I could be
Hello?
like 100 people.
Oh, can
crazy.
you just stream? You
Hi.
can't talk? I can't talk.
Amanda, is it not live?
It's live right now.
It's not.
It's
We can't-
delayed.
we can't.
Wave. Michael, get off your phone.
Watch. No, see, look at mine's delayed.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. Hi, everybody. I'm letting more people jump on, and then we're gonna start. But I will introduce you to everybody that's here right now with me. These are all my roommates that are gonna roommates/family. It's my cousin Andrew. It's my boyfriend Michael. That's Jake, and that's my cousin Allie. This is Jake's. This is Allie's husband.
Yeah.
And this is what we have going on. This is my setup that we're gonna do.
Nice pail.
Don't judge me.
Flashlight.
We have 2 books, a clay thing. I don't know what that is. A paint can.
It's a flashlight.
Hi, Talina. Okay, I'm just gonna give us a second. You guys, I'm so excited for this. I'm also.
You're at 48.
All right,
Put
let's
some
see.
classy paint music
Everybody
in the
saying
background.
hi. No paint music.
What does
Okay.
paint music
Oh,
sound
shoot.
like?
Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna give us 1 more minute. This is the setup. These are the 2 paintings we're gonna be doing.
There it is.
Oh boy, you guys.
Hi, Mar.
Hi, Hannah. Hi, Mark.
Hello, other people.
I think Maggie's in there. Say
Okay.
hi.
Hi, Mike Oak.
They might help me as well. Like if they have questions that you guys might have, they'll probably ask, and then it'll be easy for me to answer.
I've got lost.
Can you just keep sending hearts?
Maggie.
Okay. I'm gonna give us like 2 more minutes. We got 52 people on here right now.
That's a lot of people.
Is
What up?
Roberta on
Big
there?
Reggie 10 joined.
You guys gotta
Oh,
stop
boy.
asking questions.
Yeah.
Is Roberta on there? Look.
All right, let's
Can
see.
everyone see my hearts?
Yeah, dog. I just keep seeing.
Hi, Mom.
hearts.
You guys stop.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Miss you too, Maggie.
Okay.
Sorry.
So these are the 2 that we're gonna do today. This first one, lots of drips. This one, mountains and trees. Awesome.
What?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. She doesn't have Snapchat.
So I have all of my paper ready. I got my coffee cup and then my darks right here. This is what we got going on. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready, and I think we're gonna get started.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. So first thing, we're gonna start, and I'm gonna take my saucer. You can have a plate, you can have whatever is available. My friends here have plates with coffee cups. I'm just gonna take my coffee cup and slowly, carefully pour it into my saucer. Make sure it doesn't overflow.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Is this
Yep,
me?
we're starting.
Are me and Alex sharing?
Yeah, you guys are
will
sharing.
share.
Or yeah,
I'll just get another.
All right, so we have it in there.
Gotta be fine.
And then I'm going to dip my coffee cup upside down in there. And I'm going to give us all a second so we all have it ready. Okay, coffee cup's in there. We're going to start with this painting first. And to get that ring right there, I'm going to take my saucer, pick up my coffee cup. I'm going to let it drip a couple times because usually it splatters if you don't. And then just carefully place it right in the center. Let it sit for a second too. You want it to really soak up. All right, when you take it off, check out the ring. If you guys have splatters or anything that happen, that's totally fine.
Much better.
Mine's best.
Awesome.
Can I get like a smaller one so I don't have to paint?
Okay.
I lost your Michael broke a paintbrush.
Okay. Now what we're going to do, I have a brush. What is it? It's a number 2 brush. Right there, you guys can see. Number 2 brush. My friends here have like all different sizes. So if you guys have a super big brush, my brush is pretty small. But I'm just going to take a little bit of my paint from the regular brewed coffee. And we're going to start with these mountains right here. So I'm going to start basically in the middle.
This is as good as going to work all day.
In the middle of my circle. And we're going to do 3 peaks. I'm going to start on the right hand side and do one little triangle.
It's coffee.
Stop.
Somebody asked if it was coffee or tea.
It's coffee. And then another triangle. And then a third. They can be symmetrical, they can be all different, whatever you guys want. But that basically cuts right through the middle of the circle. Awesome. And if you can tell, it's pretty pale right now, but we're going to add some of this strong dark coffee in a second. And that's going to make it a lot better. Okay. I'm not using a lot of paint or a lot of coffee either on the brush. I'm just using barely any. It's not even dripping when I pick it up. So we got that. And then, as you can see, on the sides, it's like the sun is facing from here. So we're going to put the shadows all on the right side of the coffee painting. So I'm just going to take my regular brewed coffee and just slowly give it a little bit of shadow on the sides. You can leave a little bit of white spot on there too. All right. If you guys can see this example, I hope that helps up top. And this is just the regular brewed right now. A little on the sides. I'm not even going to go down into that bottom half. I'm going to stay right up in the top half of the mountains. Just like quick, messy brush strokes. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. All right. That's what I got. Let's see, I'm looking at my subjects right now, and it's looking pretty good.
I don't know who you're looking at.
So now I have my dark coffee. This is the dark stuff that we made earlier with the instant coffee. I'm not even going to use any paint right now, any water to rinse my brush. I'm just going to keep twirling it in this dark. And we are going to, just on the very, very edges, touch. Just touch very lightly where you did with that brewed coffee already. And you can see it really soaks it up really nicely. I'm just doing on the very left-hand side. Yep, that's perfect. It'll just soak up, and when it dries, it's going to be this like really nice ombre effect. Just on all the sides. Yep. I'll pick it up and show you. This is what I have. It's barely anything on there right now. I did make it doesn't always turn out a perfect circle, I tell you that. Okay. So that's what we got going on. If you want, you can take a little bit more of this dark brewed right here. And I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to touch it to the right hand or the left hand side. And that light brew will kind of soak up the dark and make it spread. All right, just like that. A little bit darker.
It's not very good.
All right, let's see what they got. Okay. All right, my subjects are okay. Andrew, it's okay.
It's bad.
Let's see, Michael.
Michael gets worse. Come over here. Check out these beautiful mountains.
Yeah, the dark one is the one I brewed 2 days ago.
You can find this on the shop later today. I'm done.
It's hard.
Okay, yep, the dark brew is that one. I will save this to the IGTV, so if you guys want to watch it later, we can definitely do that if you're like missing brushes or anything. Okay, so I just used my dark brew, and we're gonna be kind of switching back and forth here because this has to dry now before we do the next layer. So I'm just gonna leave it like that and set it aside for now. So you guys go ahead, set that one aside. We're gonna do a little switch swap back and forth. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. And this one's really fun because as you can see, it gets really messy. You can do as many drips as you want, as little drips. I put a moon in there because I like the little moon effect. But you guys do what you want. Let's see. All right, so we're going to take our cup again with our clean piece of paper and do the exact same thing. If it doesn't make a perfect circle, I almost think that's better. It's fun when it doesn't completely turn out perfect. So I'm going to put it on there. Let it sit. And then slowly take it off. Oh, see, I'm almost said it's a perfect circle. Okay, so now what we got with this, as you guys can see, there's like a little bit of like some excess coffee in there. And all I'm going to do is slowly start to help it out. I got to put it down. I'm going to start a couple little lines where it could drip. I'm just going to help it out a little bit, and then we're going to pick it up and tip it in a second. So go ahead and just help it out. I like to do odd numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or even, whatever. Okay. And then just very, very slowly start to tip it. Like that one's going to run. You can tell. Go slow.
Whoa.
There we go. I'm going to help this one along a little bit. This is called cheating, and this is what we do. We let it cheat a little bit. Okay. That's what I got, and I like it like that. All right. So we got that. We got drips. Literally have as many as you want. I'm going to add some in between these, actually. So I'm going to just very carefully put a couple little drops. If your coffee completely ran off the page, I also like that. I think, like, literally this is the most fluid, pun intended, thing that you could do. So just have some fun with it. Andrew let his run off the page. That's cool. Okay, this is what I have right now. And now we're going to do this bottom section with the lake. So I'm going to do, let's see, it looks like 2/3 of the way down. You're going to cut your circle in half. And so I'm going to dip my brush back in the regular brewed coffee. That's what I'm going to call our light color right here is the regular brewed. And then dark brewed, that's what I'm going to call the dark one, which makes sense. So dip it in the regular brewed, and then 2/3 of the way down right there, I'm just going to draw a line. Hopefully it's straight. Straight-ish across. It doesn't have to be really super thin or anything because we're going to fill it in a second. But that's what I got. All right, I'll let you guys catch up. We can just sit here for a second. This is what it looks like, 2/3 of the way down. If you got messy drips, I like it. The messier, the better. All right. Okay, and now with the regular brood, the light stuff, you're going to take your brush again. And for this, we're going to have some little some white space right here, okay? So I'm going to start on the left and the right and just slowly bring in that coffee color. You can see it's really choppy. You don't want it to be perfect. I'm going to leave a good inch of space in the middle. The fun thing about painting with coffee is when it's dried, it turns out really well. The lines come out really super clean and crisp. I'm going to connect it at the bottom right here. Yeah. Are you guys doing okay so far? Everybody's pretty silent on the messages, so I feel like you guys are concentrating. If I'm going too fast, just let me know. Just send up an SOS or something and I'll slow down. So I have some good negative space there in the middle. You are focused. Thank you. You guys are busy painting. Okay, good job.
Did you get a dark brook?
All right. You're struggling with the drips. The drips are the most fun part. You just got to kind of let it flow, Kelsey. Okay, mine look like hair, so thin. Okay, so if they look super thin like that, what I do is I just start at the base where the drip starts and I make a little V on either side. You just make a little V and that will help to fatten them up. Don't be afraid to use your paintbrush and actually just make them look more like drips yourself. I'm excited to do this with you guys. I'm excited. Hi, Uncle Matt. I'm excited to show you. I've never showed anybody really how to coffee paint before. People always ask me all the time, so this is fun to show. Okay, so we got the drips. You can fatten them up. Cheat with your paintbrush if you want to. And next, we're going to take the dark stuff. Same brush. I'm never going to switch brushes. I always use the same brush for everything I do. Dip it right into the dark. And for this, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to go on the outside this time. So I'm going to put the dark all along the outside. If it looks like you messed up and it's all sorts of splotchy and swirly, you didn't. That's okay.
If you have coffee grounds in it.
Coffee grounds. If there's coffee grounds in your painting, that's even better. It's more authentic that way. That's what I say. So I'm going to put some dark in my drips. And I just keep kind of dipping in my dark as we go. Okay. So something like this. It looks, I dare I say it looks bad right now, but it's not going to be bad. Seriously, when coffee dries, the way that it dries makes everything look so much better. So you can see it's pretty dark on the bottom. Oops, let's see. It's pretty dark on the bottom. We got that white space in the middle. All right. Am I supposed to do this left-handed as well? Is that correct? Yes, do it left-handed and you get bonus points if you do it blindfolded. Okay. Let's do a little line right across the top as well. with that dark. So dip your brush in the dark and just do a line straight across. Yeah. Should we see how my subjects are doing? Let's see.
Not good, coach.
I think I'm doing the best.
Just look at my mountain. Don't
See her drips.
Oh, your drips look alright, Alex.
Yeah, good job.
There are.
Okay.
Bad drips.
You got rogue drips. That doesn't mean they're bad.
Bad.
Look at how many drips you got.
Mine's the best.
Okay.
It
Let's
looks worse
see,
on me.
Andrew.
Stating facts.
Let's see, Andrews.
It's not good either.
Alright.
Oh boy. You guys, maybe we should vote at the end with these and see whose is the best. I don't know. I don't know yet. Okay. So,
Yeah, she said the more browns, the better.
next with this one, I'm going to stick with the drip one for a second. We're going to take our brush and we're going to do the mountains. These are really simple because it's basically just two triangles right here. Yeah, you're going to stick with the drip one. Two triangles. I'm going to take my light brewed coffee, my light shade. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to start, it looks like a third of the way from the top. And I'm going to make one big mountain. Down. One little mountain. Something like that.
With the dark or the light?
Oh, with the light. And if you guys can tell, it's starting to pool in that side. So I just pick it up every now and then and let the darks flow into different spots. I don't want a pool of dark just right there. So if it settles in the bottom, that's fine. Maybe my paper's bumpy. Let's fix that. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing, especially when there's a moon right here. That's where your light source is. So the shadows are going to be on the right-hand side. So just like with the other mountains, go ahead and literally the messier the better with this. You can tell how messy this is. Nothing about it is perfect. And I'm just going to make my shadows.
The light?
With the light one, yeah. Okay, and then we got this on this side. If you can tell, I'm kind of bouncing my paintbrush up and down, and that gets these little spots of color. You don't want straight color on that side. You want some light spots as well still. I'm going to do a couple on this side too. Your dumb coffee is too weak? I'm sorry, Susanna. We're going to save it, and you can brew darker coffee, and you can try again. There's no saying you can't try again. If you guys don't have coffee too, if you have watercolors, anything like that, feel free to use watercolors. It's the same exact thing. Okay. So I have some lights, and you're going to take your strong brewed, dip, and you're going to do the same thing with this one and just touch it to the left-hand side of your shadows. I'll pick it up so you guys can see. Just touch, and then it soaks in with that. That's what you want. Is it going really bad, Andrew? It's okay.
It looks bad.
Some people just weren't born with it.
Hey, as long as you guys have fun, it could look like a pile of mud on the thing. But as long as you're having fun, that's okay. You're using soy sauce.
That's a good dark.
I've used that medium before, Zach.
Zach, send me your picture when you're done. I want to see that. Okay, we got this. If you guys want, this is the optional part. We're going to add the moon.
Might as well.
The moon. Okay, so with this, light shade. And I'm just going to start very small with this. I'm just going to start with a little circle and go bigger until I get the size that I want. Mine's about the size of a quarter right now, I would say. And just like that. This is the light shade right now. If you have a little bit of like a puddle of excess coffee in there, you can take a tissue and just blot it out. I'm gonna grab a tissue. I want some tissue. Okay, we're just gonna do a little blot. And that takes it away. Yeah. I do have a big puddle here. So for that, I'm just going to take my tissue and soak a little bit of it up. There we go. That's way better. I just use a Kleenex. Anything will do.
That's a good looking moon.
That is a good looking moon.
It's alright. It's ombre.
Okay. How is everybody else other painting doing? Is yours dry? Mine's dry.
Mine's dry.
Is it dry? If it's not dry, just shake it. Give it a little shake.
Mine's not
This is so fun. Yes, this is my family.
Hi, family.
My cousin's husband, boyfriend, cousin. We all live together. Except for Michael.
God bless you.
My moon ended up way too big. It could be a, what's the thing called in Star Wars that's really big? Is it a starship? Death Star!
Good gracious.
If it's a big one.
$10.
You guys like, Darren, you're doing great. You make it into whatever you want. If it's a way too big moon, you can make Saturn a super moon. I would do a ring around it if it's super big. Just make a little ring around it for Saturn.
I got 2 moons.
Hi, Nana. Okay. So, how does everybody's look like this? Starship. Don't roll your eyes at the starship. Okay. We're going to switch. I'm going to switch back. We're going to go back to this one.
Did you see that? We have those stars.
Throw me some hearts or something if you're ready.
God bless me.
That'll be easy. I'm going to put this one to the side. I just blotted my painting to death. It should still be wet, so if you blotted it too much, you can add some more color to it. Okay. So we're back to this one. Okay, you guys all seem ready? Thank you. Okay, so for this, now what we're going to do, if you can see right here, ooh, it might be too hard. I have little tiny light shades on these sides. You can see this is pretty light right here, so I'm just going to take a little bit of my light and put maybe like 1 or 2 spots on the other side. If you think about it, these are shadows in the mountain. That helps. Just a couple little blotches. If you don't want to do this part, feel free and skip it. If you're like, my painting looks bomb right now, don't do it. I just took a little bit of my light paint and put it on the left-hand side.
You gotta make it look like a moon.
No, you obviously.
Okay, and now what we're going to do, I have 2 rows of trees back here. We're going to do the light ones first on this one. And I'm going to show you guys how I like to do trees. Because it's very hard for some people, I feel like. So before we even get into where our trees are going to go, I'm just going to show you. Anyone feeling confident? You guys are all doing great, okay? It's very odd because this is virtual. Usually I have a class in front of me and that's easier to tell when you're crying, but like I can't tell if you're crying right now. All right, we're going to take our dark. We're going to take our dark. No, I'm going to take my dark. Don't take your dark. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to show you how to do a tree. So don't do this on your page yet. This is just a scrap piece of paper I have. And I'm going to show you how to do a tree. So I'm just going to do a straight line. And I'm going to start a little bit from the top. And all we're going to do is tiny little tick marks on either side. And I kind of go in a zigzag pattern. If you guys have extra paper, you can practice your tree first if you don't feel confident about it. And I keep it pretty close together. Alright. As you go down, it gets bigger. It's like a triangle. And we're just doing like this. So that's how I make my trees. Hi, Delina. So line down on either side. If you guys want, if this is easier for you, you can do a line down and then just kind of feather it out.
Do you do the trees with the light or dark?
We're going to do the trees with the light first. So if that's easier for you guys, I'm just showing you in the dark right now. If that's easier, just kind of feather it out. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, watercolors are hard. Like, I don't even mess with them. I just mess with coffee. Okay, so back to the real painting. What do we got? I'm going to start with my light color. We're going to do these trees behind first. These are pretty light, actually. So I'm going to do 3, and then a big one, and then 3 more on the other side. So you can follow with me as we do that. Oh, Andrew.
And that's bad.
You guys, I got to show you what my cousin did.
Ready to cry.
I'm not saying this is bad.
Art is hard.
It's bad.
I'm not saying it's good.
As long
either.
as you have fun, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to start with my trees. I'm going to start with the light color, and we are going to start. I always start on the right-hand side of things because I'm left-handed and I don't want to smudge. So take your time with these. Mine are pretty short. They go about, I want to say, halfway up the mountain. All right, so I got 1. And I'm letting it go all the way down to the base. You're going to touch that circle. You'll buy it? That's so nice.
Is that my mom?
My mom needs to buy it. What's that Amy probably? Who is it?
No,
Oh.
I know her. She's so sweet.
Andrew!
Charity.
Charity.
All right, we're going to
You
go
pay
down
shipping
again.
each years.
Andrew.
And my trees are getting progressively lower each time I go down the circle. So this is going to be my highest one up here. And then this one's lower than the next one. This one's really big up top. And then they go up again. You're kind of just following the shape of the circle except for that middle one. Andrew, my mom offered to buy yours.
She did.
Explain how I made this dark color. I took 1 teaspoon of dark instant coffee, and then I did 1 teaspoon of hot water, and I mixed those together, and that's my dark color. Okay, keep doing your trees. Alright. If you accidentally make more or less trees, it's totally fine. So you can see none of my trees are touching that color up top from the mountains. I'm leaving that alone. Laundry is done. It was our dishwasher. You guys, it's hard when you teach class from home, and then it feels like there's like 4 little kids around the table right now.
Excuse
and
me.
Whoa.
A little kid can paint better than me.
A little kid can paint better than you. Poor Andrew.
We're trying our best out here. We're struggling.
Okay. So I'm on my 4th one.
Alright, let's come together.
My 5th
That looks
one.
like a herd of trees.
Good job, Andrew.
Somebody thought it was there.
Okay. After this, we're gonna let this dry again. So if you feel like you have like a puddle of coffee on your painting, then I would take, if you feel like you have a puddle of coffee on your painting, I would take your little piece of Kleenex and then just dab it again, and that'll take most of the coffee away. Okay. Too much coffee, just take a little thing, dab it. But this is what I have right now. This is my tiny fleet of trees. It's pretty hard to see. Okay. And now we're going to switch back to this one. Mine is almost dry. I'm going to give it a second. If you guys are behind, this is a good time to catch up. I'm just going to wave it a little bit. This is always the part where it looks kind of funny. And it's like, what did I do? Did I just spill coffee on my paper? And then when you're done, you're like, holy crap, I just did that. It looks amazing. Oh, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Dang, good job. You're a trooper, Andrew. Really? Kelsey, I'm gonna need to see your sad jellyfish. Okay, we're gonna give it a second. But you can see, like, even where it dried right there, that's a really nice ombre effect. Like, it's really dark, really light. You wanna call it ombre? I'm just gonna let it sit a second. Okay. Should we take a look around the room?
Why do you keep doing this?
It's fine, you guys show the people. Good job, Allie.
Oh, good gracious.
Andrew,
I'm that
those
person
drifts are
you
pretty
predicted
good,
would
dog.
struggle with trees.
Yeah.
Your drift's looking good.
Trees are hard. It's a thing you have to practice for
You
sure.
looking at this one?
Oh, you got stars.
Yeah, I
That's
finished.
nice.
Yeah, I added.
Is this yours, Michael?
Uh-huh.
Good job.
Thanks.
Let's see. No, Andrew, this one.
No, Andrew.
$5, okay, you guys? $5.
Don't waste your money. Starting bid.
Don't waste your money.
Don't waste your money. $2? $2. If anybody
you.
wants it,
I'll just use it as
I'll
fire
ship it for
starter.
free for $2. Okay. So give me some hearts if your this one is dry. Is this one dry for you guys yet?
Pretty close.
Mine feels pretty dry. If you don't know if it's dry, I would just give it a little tap with your finger. Give it a second. Oh, yep. Michael, that's you doing the heart. No.
He's just sits over there and tapping the heart button over and over again.
It's not helping. If you think it looks good as is, I would definitely, you can just leave it and come back to it later. About tree fitty. Yeah, you can just make it into a jellyfish. Okay. So mine seems pretty dry. At least my mountains do right now. This is a little wet. So I'm going to just start with my mountains. And we're going to just give it some darker darks up here. So it's not too much. I'm going to take my dark color and we're going to give it a few dark shadows up top. You guys are doing good. We're almost done. Okay. We're going to take the dark color. And I'm just going to start at the very edge of my mountain and just do an outline of the top. Maybe a little bit down there. You guys can copy exactly what I'm doing if you want on the drippy one. Yeah. So this is with the dark color, and you're just gonna, I'm gonna outline the rest of my mountain in this dark, just to make it pop a little bit off the page. Up, down. Good job, Angie. Give a little bit of dark right here. You can just take a look at this one if you want to. Just a couple of darks up there. Okay. If you have a puddle like this one, like Andrew's is pretty much all dark. I'm sorry, Andrew. If you have, I would just take my tissue and blot.
Ooh,
I would just blot the outside of it.
got that ombre effect.
See, yeah, and then you get a little bit of the dark, a little bit of the light in there. That definitely helps. Okay, so this is what mine looks like so far. If you have a jellyfish or a really big moon, I applaud you. Okay. How's my bottom doing? My bottom's dry, I think, now. Everybody else? So with this bottom, all I want to do here, I don't want to do too much. Genius, thank you. You're welcome. Just take a little blot. I'm just going to do tiny splotches of dark color around the outside. So for this, I'm going to take my dark. Zach says, call it, Andrew. Okay, wait. Let me say it.
Call it?
I'm going to take these and just with the very tip of my brush, so it's a really fine line, I'm just going to point it like directly up on the page. I'm going to do like, I would call them zebra stripes. You start from the outside of that circle and just kind of work your way in. Nothing too big. It's supposed to look like the ripples of a lake. And so I would just do some on the bottom. Let me see.
Michael's tree's turned out.
Oh, good job. So this is what mine looks like right now. Little zebra stripes. Start from the outside of the circle and work your way in. I'm not even going to go into that white space right there. Just like that. Tiny little tiger stripes. And then, with the very, very end of my brush, I'm just going to make tiny little tic-tac marks inside of that white. Little tic-tac marks. You want to make a little tic-tac mark? Yeah, you want more?
This pain was sinking on a life of its own.
Okay. So 10 little tic-tac marks in the water. Not too many, I would say maybe like 4 or 5 or 6. This is what I got so far. Andrew's still blotting. Oh, good job, Jake. That looks good. Okay.
Okay.
We're almost done with this one. So next thing I'm going to do is this line of trees. And that's just going to hit. Bless you. You can sneeze.
It's okay, folks. We're alive. It's okay.
You sneezed too hard.
Batman is painting. You sneeze so hard.
Oh, no. That's okay.
It's hard.
Look, there. I fixed it. Okay, you guys okay? Are you okay in there?
Say that word quick.
Okay. I'm going to put it back on. Hold on, please, because this is my setup. Give me a second. There we go. All right. We're back. Don't laugh at me. We're going to take these trees. We're going to do the trees up here. And for that, I'm going to use the dark. Oh, no. It's okay, Maggie. And I'm just going to do tiny little, again, like tic-tac marks of alternating sizes. And they're going to be grouped together. They're all going to kind of touch. Tic-tac, tic-tac. And they're going to touch. You don't want them too high. I do maybe like, this is my pinky finger. They're not very high at all. Oh boy, see, yeah, that wasn't an earthquake. That was just me being clumsy. Okay. On the bottom. If you want to as well, you can kind of draw a line first with your dark. Cover that sneeze. He did, don't worry. Not very tall. I want them all to kind of touch. One trick with these darks is too, if you want them very, very dark, I take so much, where's my paintbrush? I take so much at the end of my paintbrush, you can see it's gonna kind of drip. And I'm just gonna oversaturate that area with dark. And if you just leave it like that and let it dry, it'll dry really, really nice. Okay, I'm almost done with my Tic Tacs. Oh, it looks dope.
It does look good, Alan. Goodness. Sure you're not noticed? I know, I like it. I like Michael.
You know about that border?
Looks good.
Dark? Yes, dark with the trees right here.
I think of my border.
Let me see.
Looks good.
That's really nice.
You're gonna start doing it.
Michael did a border around his.
Optional.
It is optional. Very optional. But I like it. It looks old. That looks good. Good job.
We were here longer, Michael.
Okay, so this is what we got so far. I'll take it off. Okay. One more tiny little thing we're going to do with this is you see these little marks right here. That's supposed to be the reflection of the trees in the water. And so for that, I'm going to take my dark again. And for this, I turn it sideways because it's easier for me to paint these tiny little marks sideways.
Jackson Pollock.
And I'm just going to do maybe like, I don't know, you don't want to be very specific with it. Just make random little hash like marks on the sideways right here. Something like that. I got a little pool right there, so I'm going to move my coffee over. It's easy when you have the coffee and it's still wet and you want it to kind of go where you want it to go. just tip it. There we go. Now it's kind of put in different places. Let's see. Wow, let's see this. Look. Do you guys like this one? I like this one. Someone said boo. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Nobody said
You
it.
said it. Give me their name.
Okay. So right now, I'm going to go over it. We got dark trees, dark little hashtag marks. And you can see our moon's still pretty pale, and that's the last thing I'm going to cover with this one. I'll give you guys a second. We're going to make it a little bit darker like this, but I'll wait. It's hard to tell when you guys are done because I can't see you, but... All right, I'm going to take my dark. I'm going to take my dark, and I'm going to take my moon. And this is how I make my moon. I'm just going to trace half of it with this dark color. Kind of give it a little bit of that. And then I'm going to go directly into my light color right here. Take a big old drop. And then just cover the rest. Kind of blending the dark in with the light. If you want, you can dab a little bit of it with your paper towel. If you guys already have a dark moon, or you have a big old, what's it called? Star Destroyer?
Death Star.
Death Star. Sorry. How do we make happy little clouds?
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you how to make happy little clouds.
I'm watching Bob Ross.
We're going rogue. Happy little clouds real quick. I got my little piece of paper. I got some light color. And I'm just going to make a little cloud. Just make some bumps. Yeah, you want to be really nice and gentle. I'm using the side of my brush. And then I'm going to dip in the dark. And just kind of polka dot that around. Happy little cloud. Okay, so if you guys are done with this one, we are done with this one. This is what it is. Hooray! I am very, very curious to see how you guys turned out. So please send them to me, or if you put on your story, tag me in it so I can see. I want to know what happened with everybody's. But before we're done, this is the last thing we're going to do right here. We're going to make the dark trees on the bottom. And so for that, that's super simple. I'm just going to take my dark color. And we're going to do right in front, but a little bit shorter than the back rows. We're going to alternate dark in between all of the light ones. If you have super smushed together trees, you can just do it however you want. But I think that base of dark on the bottom really looks good. So I'm going to start on the right again. I'm going to start on the right and do my darks. I will show you like this. Painting clouds is what broke me in my last paint class. That's so sad. Happy clouds. Heard that, sister. Yes, I will save this when it is done, for sure. I do need to figure that out, but yes, I will save it. Okay, still keeping with the dark. Gonna do some trees. And I'm also kind of painting the bottom of the circle just to make it all cohesive, so. And like like I said earlier, if you want really super dark trees, just saturate. You're welcome. Saturate the painting with color and leave it like that. And then if it dries, it'll be really nice and dark. These trees are the hardest to do. I just kind of wing it. Just do little zigzags back and forth. I like that. I'm going to show everybody your guys' one I've done.
Yeah, I'm way more of a Jackson Pollock kind of guy.
Okay. Make sure to save it before you post. Thank you, Kelsey. Yes. Yeah, of course. I'm happy to do this. So making sure that my darker trees are lower than the lighter trees, so you can see the lighter trees in the background. Oh, you guys, this was exactly an hour class. Crushed it. That's what I was aiming for. Okay. I'm almost done. Okay. All right, this is the end of mine. This is what we want it to look like. It always doesn't end up like you want it, but that's okay. Thank you for doing that. Okay. I do again want to thank you guys for doing this with me. This was really fun. Please be sure to show me what you got. Send them to me, tag me in it. I'm going to put a little thing together on my story and we're going to share everybody's. I hope you guys had fun. I had a blast. Do you want to see my students before you go? Okay, let's see.
Pick who's the best.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Amanda. You rock. You rock, Maggie. I'm sorry I got the Death Star wrong.
I miss you, Maggie.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This was really fun. Okay.
I freaking nailed this
Oh, he signed it.
one. I nailed it.
Oh, boy.
That's very
That's
good.
pretty good. That's a lot of detail.
Freaking nailed it.
Michael did a really good job.
Mine's by far the
Wow, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Showcase. Yeah, we need to have a showcase of everybody's.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Sue.
Don't worry about that one.
Okay. Who said they would buy this one? You still have to buy this one. Wow.
Oh.
More classes. If you guys want more classes, let me know. That would be fun. Okay. Thank you again.
Bye.
Goodbye, you guys.
Bye.
I hope you had fun. I had fun. This class is so nice and of lovely people. And I'm going to figure out how to save this now. Okay. Bye, you guys. No. No. Wait.
Wait.
Google